Hi guys, it's Claudia. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to talk about how I was able to afford my first luxury item and how I continue to do so. So grab your snacks, grab your drinks, whatever you need, because I feel like this video will be a bit chatty because I have a lot to share with you guys. So I just want to start off with this one thing because I know it'll apply to this entire video and probably many aspects of your life, but it's just to be responsible and self-aware of your own money and your financial situation, because it's not worth buying something that you're going to go into debt for. You can definitely splurge on yourself, but do it in a smart way, because it's not worth going into debt buying something that you really want, because at the end of the day, when you're wearing this item out, you're probably going to feel guilty. You're not going to feel happy wearing it, because in the back of your mind you're just going to have to keep thinking about this one thing that you have to pay off. There's also like this other thing I want to address, is that I know there's like people who don't like purchasing luxury goods because they think it's a waste of money or it's materialistic, and then there's another group who like luxury goods, who, you know, choose to buy these things. And I'm clearly in that alley, because I like luxury goods. I like it because of the design, the brand, the culture. I appreciate the craftsmanship. So that's how I choose to reward myself with the money that I make. It makes me feel good that I've accomplished something, you know? So yeah, I just want to address this because I know there's a lot of like back and forth with it, and I just want to explain myself, because some of you might not understand or are in the same boat as me. So I just wanted to put that out there. So I haven't really ever talked about myself in my videos, but I'll just say this because I think it'll give a good background idea of my financial situation. But I am not from a wealthy family at all, I wish. But I'm just from a middle class, you know, normal family. I am the only child, so my parents didn't really have to, I guess, spend a lot more compared to other families with more children. So I was fortunate enough to have my college tuition paid by them, which I'm so grateful for, because I know a lot of my friends who don't have that, you know, luxury, and so they have to like save from like when they're super young until, you know, now to pay off college, your debt, whatever. But I still have my college debt, which I'm paying off, so that's another, you know, story that I can talk about. I was lucky enough to be able to save up my money from when I first started working, which was when I was 16, I believe. Yeah, 16 until now. All the money that I earned, I was able to save myself so that I can, you know, choose to invest it, save it for my future, or buy things that I wanted. So another thing is that I live at home with my parents still. I graduated last year from college, so I'm still figuring things out, but they haven't like rushed me to move out. They haven't, you know, tried to kick me out. We had the talk and they're like, no, stay home for as long as you want. You know, I'm the only child and a girl, so they don't want to like push me out of the house and be like, bye-bye. So I'm so lucky and grateful for that, because I can, you know, not have something to worry about, something less on my plate. I don't have to worry about paying a mortgage or rent. I can use that money to save up for a home one day. So that's another huge portion of my savings. So one more thing I want to address before sharing my tips is that I usually go for classics for luxury items and very neutral colors, basic colors, because I know that I'll get the most wear and tear out of them, and that it'll match my wardrobe for all seasons. Okay, without further ado, after sharing all that, because I feel like it's important to kind of give you guys a basis of where I'm coming from, so I'm just gonna go on with my tips, and I wrote them down because there's a few, so I just want to make sure I get them all in. But number one is not eating out and doing much activities, going on much vacations, because that takes up a lot of money. Like I used to eat out a lot. I must say, I am not going to lie about that. I used to eat out a lot just because, you know, when my boyfriend and I first started dating, we were like, oh, like we just want to go on dates, do this, do that. That was like the first 2 years. We're in our third year now, and we're like barely outside, I must say. We like just eat at home, like whether his parents are cooking, we cook, stuff like that, because like eat at home as much as you can, cook your own meals, because it saves so much money. Like let's say for us, a day we could probably spend $100 just eating out. But when I get groceries at Trader Joe's for like, I go like once every 2 weeks, and I spend like about $100. It lasts for 2 weeks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that is amazing because we save so much more money compared to going out. So I would highly recommend eating or meal prepping at home if you can, because, you know, a girl spends so much money eating out, it's just ridiculous. Like I could have bought a new, you know, pair of shoes or a bag or whatever, or saved up for my home in the future. But that's one thing. Also, doing activities, going to the movies. Like, we used to go to pop-up shops a lot, which is such a freaking waste of money, like, because I don't know what I was thinking back in the day. Maybe it was just like the hype of it, but like each ticket costs like 30 to 40 bucks, and you're in there for like what, 2 minutes for each installation, and you have to wait online, and it's just not worth that at all. I probably visited like 5 different pop-up shops last summer. Now I'm like, wow, I'm an idiot because it's so not worth it. So I live in New York City, and now what we do is that I usually look up like there's like FOMO feed, New York City bucket list, stuff like that, to find free activities that we can do around the city. So it's usually like installations that are like day of, or like art galleries we like to do, or just like really weird stuff. But yeah, it's really enjoyable because now it's warm, we can walk around outside, you know, do a lot of free stuff, because free stuff is the best. So also vacations is another thing. There's people who don't need to go on vacation at all, and girl, let me say, you can save so much money. But my boyfriend and I are the type to, we like to explore, we like to be adventurous, you know, learn about different cultures. So we go on vacation probably 1 to 2 times a year, max 2 times, just because, you know, it's expensive. But we haven't gone anywhere this year, I believe. But we're going in Japan in August, and I'm so stoked for it because we've been saving up for it since like last year, and I've been wanting to go for the longest time. So I'm super happy. I'm gonna be, you know, making a vlog and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, definitely check it out when I post it, because it's gonna be lit. But yeah, and also another thing is that we don't smoke. Like, we don't smoke cigarettes, jewels, stuff like that. So that's really convenient for us because it's like another less thing to worry about. And also, I guess because we never did it, it's like it doesn't feel like I'm saving money, you know what I mean? But that's just another thing I want to put out there. Also, my boyfriend doesn't drink, but I do with my friends, like, you know, for birthdays and stuff like that when we go out. So we don't go out a lot. I want to say at maybe once every month or once every 2 months, whoever has a birthday, that's the only time we really go out and drink. So yeah, and I think max we would spend would be like 50 to 80 bucks a night, that night. And it's like not a, I would say it's not a lot because we're not going out every single weekend. It's just like once a month or once every 2 months, and it's totally okay because it's a celebration. It's a valid excuse. The second tip is money management. So in terms of saving a portion of your paycheck towards your savings or something that you want to buy. And it's really important that you do that because you want to be able to save money to buy things that are important to you, or save money for your future that is clearly going to be very important to you. So money management is like the biggest thing to everything. Like I said in the very beginning, be responsible for your money and be aware of your financial situation. I just want to share how I started saving my money since I was 16. So paycheck was what, every 2 weeks, and I gave myself a $200 like bi-weekly allowance, and then the rest I would put in my savings. So every week I would obviously make more than 200, and I definitely put more than like 50% of my paycheck into my savings, because I just didn't feel the need to spend my money recklessly, because I know some people like spend money from paycheck to paycheck, and it's just, for me, it wasn't necessary, and I felt like it wasn't healthy for me. So I didn't do that. I just gave myself like a strict $200 bi-weekly allowance, and everything else went to my savings. So I did that since I was 16 years old, and so the $200 would go to like food. I would help my parents buy groceries. If I really hung out with a friend, we just go eat something cheap, stuff like that. So I was super strict with myself, and it really helped me out in the long run. You guys don't have to do what I did. Like 200 is like very limited. You know, figure out your financial situation, figure out what bills you have to pay, and then the money that you need to use for yourself, and then how much you can put into your savings, because once you figure that out, it's a lot easier. The third tip, which is I guess another super obvious, is that to buy secondhand or used bags. You can definitely get them from eBay, from like Etsy. I think ThredUp might have some, I'm not sure. I don't know if they sell luxury items. You can go to a thrift shop if you're like really into thrifting. You can definitely find some good pieces. I know there's also, oh, what's that other one? Oh, Facebook groups. I don't know why I just had a brain fart. You can look at Facebook groups where they resell luxury items. Just be really careful with that, because, you know, make sure you get the bag or luxury item authenticated. Also, there's one more, StockX, but I feel like their prices are kind of high, so I wouldn't highly recommend going there as your first choice. I personally never bought secondhand or used bags just because I don't know, I guess I never just researched it or looked into it, but I know a few friends who've done it and they've had great experiences with it, so there's nothing wrong with doing it. I think I just like having like a fresh new purchase with my own money, but you could definitely save a lot of money from just buying secondhand or used. So the fourth tip is doing consignment for items that you don't use or enjoy anymore, because you can use that as a credit towards another purchase, or you can take the cash and put that towards another purchase. So I personally haven't done any consignment for any of my items, just because I still continue to use them, I still enjoy them. That's another thing I want to say, because I purchase items only when I know 100% that I'm going to use it, when I'm 100% that I will keep wearing them and enjoy them, because I will know instantly if I get an item and I wear it once or twice out and I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't get this, then I know it's like a waste of money and a waste of time, you know, a waste of effort. So when I buy items, I'm like 120% sure that I want it, that I know I'm gonna wear it, and that I'm not gonna like feel guilty about it in the long run. So I don't buy items right away. I'm pretty patient with it, so I'll just wait it out and make sure I like it. If I keep gravitating towards it again after like a few months, I know like I'm ready for it, you know? So I'm not gonna buy it like on impulse. So for my fifth tip, it's renting bags, which I wish I learned about earlier. I didn't learn about it until like last month. I started actually researching and stuff like that, but there's this website called Bag, Borrow and Steal, or Bag, Borrow or Steal, I forgot which one, but so cool, because they have brands from Chloe, YSL, Balenciaga, Gucci, Chanel, Prada, what else do they have? They have a lot, and they have like all like the newest styles, which is amazing, because like it's just so worth it to me, because you could, I think the rental is at least a month, and then you could extend the rental period if you want to, if you're really enjoying the bag, but it ranges from like $125 to like around $400 per month. And I think 400 is like Chanel bags, because you know it's obviously more expensive, but I think I wish I knew about it earlier, just because it's so cool. It's like such a great idea to me, just because you can rent out like the newest styles and see if you like it. If you don't like it, finish up the month and return it, and then you're done. You don't have to be like, oh, thank God I didn't buy the bag because I didn't like it. But if you like the bag, you can extend the period, or you can just end up going to buy the bag itself and for your long term. So I feel like that is such a good investment, just because, you know, it's like no commitment. For the sixth tip is, I did this I think 2 years ago, is when I had like my winter break, I would do seasonal jobs at luxury brands. So I worked at Burberry, and I actually turned into like a part-time at Burberry after the seasonal, which is really nice, because when you work at a luxury brand, you get the employee discounts, and the discounts are very generous. Not only luxury goods, you can also work at a department store that sells luxury goods, because it's so worth it. Like when I was working at Burberry, I got 40 to 50% off depending on the season, and it's so worth it, because like you're paying half the price for someone who's paying like full price, or what you would pay full price if you weren't working there. So I would highly recommend either working at a luxury brand or do a seasonal employment at a luxury or department store. For the last tip is that if you know someone who's going to Europe, or you're going to Europe already, I would highly recommend buying your stuff there. Don't plan a trip to Europe just to buy these things. It's not worth it, because like when you even out the airfare, the hotel, it's like, you know, you even out. But yeah, if you already know someone going, or if you're going already, I would recommend getting it there, because you'll save a lot of money on like the currency exchange, and also on the tax refund. Woo! I feel like that was a lot to say. I'm thirsty. I hope I didn't talk too fast or ramble too much, because I know I do that. I just have so many thoughts in my head. I just want to get it out. But yeah, that's basically exactly how I was able to afford my first luxury item, and how I continue to do so. All in all, I would say be responsible for your money. Set a goal for yourself, because I think that's like a huge thing. Set a goal for yourself. Manage your goal by being able to figure out how like financially what you're going to do, how much you're going to put aside, how much you're going to give yourself to use like on a daily basis, and then, you know, save, and then reach your goal and splurge on yourself, because that feeling is like the best in the world. Because to me, at least for me, I feel so good, because I feel like I accomplished something, and it makes me feel good that way, that I was able to splurge on myself because of my hard work. So you should be able to too. Like for me, I don't know if I would say it's a collection, but I like to reward myself by buying luxury items that, you know, I see long term to invest in. You might do something different. You might be interested in shoes, someone might be interested in collecting antiques or stuff like that. So each to their own, to collect whatever they want or splurge on whatever they want. But I just wanted to share how I was able to afford my first luxury item, or afford luxury items, or honestly in general to afford anything that I want. You know, it doesn't have to just be luxury items. It could be like furniture, or buying a home, or saving up for a home. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. I think that was the most important thing. If you guys have any more questions for me or comments, please leave them down below. I always love hearing from you guys. But as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!